In this video lecture, we will talk about condition and stability. So, in numerical analysis, these two are important ingredients known as conditioning or condition number and stability. So, in numerical analysis, there are always two fundamental questions that we should consider when solving a problem. So, first one is how sensitive is the solution to the specific form of the problem we are solving. So sensitivity is the first criteria, and second one is how sensitive the algorithm we use to solve the problem. So first, sensitivity of the solution to the specific form and sensitivity of the algorithm that you are using to solve a problem. And an algorithm is a procedure which describe in an ambiguous manner, which is a finite sequence of steps to performed into a specified order. So algorithm, you can say roughly this is a sequence of steps, and we start first conditioning. So firstly I am defining what is condition of a problem. Then we will talk about stability of an algorithm. So every problem that we try to solve is based on an expression. So you may have some formula or some expression of some form. So to have confidence in our solution, we first need to know that the expression is continuous. So it is continuous in its inputs. So you have everything is continuous, but this is not enough. So we require something else than continuity. that is called conditioning. So we also need to know that the expression is well conditioned, is well conditioned. This means if expression is well conditioned, this means small changes in the input to the expression will produce only small changes in the output. So corresponding to small change, there are small changes in output. If small changes in input lead to large changes in output, then we say the problem is ill conditioned. So you have two type of problems. So one are well conditioned, one are ill conditioned. So for example, you have some nice graph. So this is x, this is fx output. So corresponding to small change in x, you have small change in fx. But if you have something like this, so if you make small change in x, okay, so there are maybe large changes in output. So if you have such scenario and small changes only produces small changes in answer, then that problem is well conditioned. And if small changes in input can produce large changes in output, then expression is ill conditioned. And to check this well or ill conditioned property, we define condition number. So the condition number is defined as, so it is denoted by kappa, or some text denote this with C. So what is condition number? So this is relative error in output divided with relative error in input. So relative error, so fx is true value, fx star beats approximation divided by true. So this is relative error in output and division with relative error in input, where x star is approximate value of x. So if we simplify this expression, so I can write it as x, then fx minus fx star, x minus x star, then fx. And if this ratio, if this value x minus x star is small, then I can write this ratio fx minus fx star divided by x minus x star as derivative. So this is x f dash x upon fx, provided that change is small. So you can calculate condition number from this definition. And if relative error in output, okay, so relative error in output is less than relative error in input, then condition number will be less than 1. And if you have relative error is greater than, relative error is in output is greater than input, then you have condition number greater than 1. So in other words, you can say for well conditioned problems, this condition number will be less than 1, or you can say it will be of order 1. For ill conditioned problems, this number will be much greater than 1. And the value of condition number depend on problem and how sensitive solution is. Sometimes this condition number can be 1, but if this is less than 1, then relative error in output will be less than relative error in input. However, if it is greater than 1, then relative error in output will be bigger than relative error in input. So this is the, you can use the expression to calculate condition number. For example, I am taking 2 examples. So firstly, take fx equal to sin x and x equal to 0.51 times pi. In second example, fx is 10x and x equal to 1.7. And question is that compute condition number and interpret. So in first case, we have condition number which is given by x f dash x upon fx, and of course this number, condition number depend on x. So just substitute the value, then derivative of sine is cos. Okay, so function is sin x. Now calculate this condition number at 0.51 pi. Okay, so just fit the value. So 0.51 pi cos 0.51 pi, then sine 0.51 pi, and with the calculator solve this expression. Answer is 0.05035, which is less than 1. So condition number is less than 1. So this function evaluation for this point is well conditioned. And for second example, you write condition number. So now x, derivative of tangent is secant square x. Then calculate this expression for 1.7 in radian mode. So 1.7 secant square 1.7, then tangent 1.7. So this comes out 13.305, which is much greater than 1. So this function evolution is ill conditioned. So in that way, by calculating the condition number, you can tell whether the problem is well conditioned or ill conditioned. Now I am talking about stability of an algorithm. So when we study an algorithm, so our interest is the same as we discussed for an expression. So something like well or ill conditioned for algorithm. So what we want small changes in input and there are small changes in output. So an algorithm, or you can say a numerical process, is stable if this is true. Or you can say if small changes in input only produce small changes in output in the output. And if this is not true, so otherwise the algorithm, it is called unstable. So same thing that we discussed earlier, well or ill conditioned. So same thing will for algorithm. But analyzing an algorithm, so like we did for functions, so analyzing an algorithm for stability is more complicated than finding a condition number from a formula. So as we know that an algorithm consists of many basic calculations. So algorithm is a procedure, so that may involve many basic calculations, and each one must be analyzed. Or you can say an algorithm is stable if every step is well conditioned. It is unstable if any step is ill conditioned. So now I am taking one example in which we discuss in detail that how you check stability of an algorithm. So what we do, we think an algorithm is a sequence of steps, and an algorithm is called stable if every step is well conditioned, and if one step is unstable, you say algorithm is unstable. So for example, write an algorithm to evaluate a function. So this is 1 plus x minus x when x is quite large. Okay, so write an algorithm and show that it is unstable, and then propose a modification or suggest a stable algorithm. So firstly, you need to take input, and it is given that x is quite large. So let us take a large number. You can take any large number. I am taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as an example. Okay, so there are many steps involved. So what are steps? So firstly, you need to add 1, then you need to take square root, then you need to take square root here, and then subtract. And this function evolution is stable if every step is stable. So firstly, I am writing steps or a possible algorithm. So a possible algorithm is, so I am writing steps on next page. So first step is that you take input, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So take an input x0. Okay, so second step is that you add 1. So I am writing here. So what we are doing, so this is 1 plus x minus this. Okay, so now I am here, add 1. So what will be x0 plus 1? And this function evolution is well conditioned if condition number is less than 1. So I am calculating condition number side by side. So what will be condition number? So input x0, then you write f dash x0 upon fx0. Okay, so what is x0? Derivative. So function is this, x0 plus 1. Derivative will be 1 with respect to x0, then x0 plus 1. So this is x0 by x0 plus 1, which is always less than 1, whatever value you take. So this step is well conditioned. Now I'm writing next step. So I'm here, so I'm calculating square root. Okay, so next step is square root of previous step, and condition number. Now we input depend on x1, so this is x1, derivative of square root x1 1 by 2 root x1, then function x1, so this is half less than 1. So okay, this step is also well conditioned. Now I am here, so calculate square root. So x3 equal to x0, and these two steps are mathematically they are equivalent. So now condition number with respect to x0, just replace x with x0, answer would be same, half, which is less than 1, well conditioned. And finally you subtract, so this minus. Okay, now subtract. So final step is x4, which is x2 minus x3. Okay, so write this step as function of x3. You can write this as function of x2 as well. Mathematically both variable are linear. So calculate condition number, so which will be x3, derivative with respect to x3 is minus 1, then x2 minus x3. So this is just x3 upon x2 minus x3. Now what is x3? This is square root of x0. So x3 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 square root. And x2 is square root of x1. So that is adding 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just solve with calculator. And you are dividing with a small number. So answer would be very large. I'm writing it. So just simplify with calculator. So condition number, this is nearly 24690.5. This is quite much bigger than 1. So all steps except last one are well conditioned, but final step is very much ill conditioned. So this algorithm is unstable. A stable algorithm consists all steps stable. If one of the step is ill conditioned, then you say that numerical process is unstable. Okay, so now we want to propose a modification so that we can make it stable. So now you have fx equal to square root x plus 1 minus square root x, and you want to get rid from this minus. So to eliminate this negative sign, just multiply and divide with the opposite sign. So just simplify it. Then you have 1 by x plus 1. X will cancel on numerator. So you got only one. Okay, so now we write algorithm. So likewise we did before. So firstly you take input x0, 1 2 3 4 5. Next step is add 1. Okay, this step is stable, we discussed earlier. So you can, so condition number was less than 1, you can write here. So no need to repeat the steps. So condition number is less than 1. The next step is we are here, add 1, then take square root. So x2 will be square root of x1, and condition number we calculated, that was half. Okay, so and next step, then you take square root of x0 and condition number was half. So everything is well conditioned. Then finally you add. Okay, so now you add, then you divide with 1. So add here. So next step x4 will be x2 plus x3, and now we write condition number with respect to x3, or you can write with x2. So this is x3 derivative 1, then x2 plus x3. So this is just x3 division x2 plus x3 is always less than 1. So this new step is also well conditioned. And finally you write x5, which is 1 by x4. Then condition number with respect to x4. So x4 and derivative is 1 minus x4 square. Then function 1 by x4. So by cancelling you got 1. So it's okay that you can go up to 1. So now every step is well conditioned. So this process or function evolution is stable now. So by rewriting the formula you can make it stable. So finally I would like to write some remarks. So first one is we discussed two things. One is condition, so well or ill. So well or ill condition problems. So well or ill condition refer to the problem or expression, and stable or unstable, these things refers to an algorithm. So we say algorithm is a stable or unstable, or you can say algorithm or numerical process. Number 2, if the problem is well conditioned, then there is a stable way to solve it. And if problem is ill conditioned, then there is a then there is no reliable way to solve it. So there is no reliable way to solve it in a stable way. And if you mix rounding error in an unstable process, then you are making a disaster, and that will cause serious loss of accuracy. And if you apply stable algorithm to well conditioned problem, then you got accurate solution. I am taking one more example in which we have trigonometric functions. So let us consider fx equal to let us take sine 2 plus x minus sine 2, and x is 0.0001. So x is small. Question is, write a stable algorithm to solve this problem. So firstly, we will check that if you evaluate this expression directly, then that is unstable. So firstly, we will check by taking x equal to 0.001, a small number, and so let us take input x0. You can write with x0. Then next step will be, you will calculate this 2 plus x. Okay, so 2 plus x0. So this step is well conditioned. You can check. Condition number is derivative is 1, then 2 plus x0, so which is always less than 1. The next step is you apply sine. Okay, so sine on this, sine x1, and you can check condition number depend on x1. So x1 derivative of sine is cos division with sine x1, and you can check this is nearly 1 by fitting the value of x1. Then x3 is sine 2, so this is constant, and this step is automatically well conditioned. Applying sine on 2. Then final step is x2 minus x3. So you can write condition number with respect to x2 or x3. Here x3 is constant, so you can write with x2, or mathematically they are same. So condition number, this is x3, derivative is minus 1, then x2 minus x3. So calculate with calculator, so you got 21848, which is much bigger than 1. So final step is ill conditioned, that x4. So final step calculating x4 is typically ill conditioned. So now we propose a modification. and you cannot apply rationalization here. You have trigonometric functions, but we can write trigonometric functions. We can use trigonometric formulas. So sine 2 plus x minus sine of 2. Actually we want to get rid from this negative sign, so just apply trigonometric formula. So this will be 2 sine x by 2 and cos a plus x by 2. Okay, so apply sine a minus sine b. So now you don't have any negative sign here. So possible algorithm is so we are writing steps again. So first one is take an input, then write x0 by 2, okay, to calculate sine x by 2. Condition number is x0 derivative is half, then x0 by 2, so condition number is 1. Then x2 is apply sine on x1. We have calculated condition number before, this was 1, so no need to write it again. Then so we are here. Then write x3, okay, so apply cos on this. So x3 is, so a is 2, sorry. So x3 is cos 2 plus x1. We already have x by 2 with x1 here. Okay, so apply cos on 2 plus x1 and write condition number with respect to x1. So this is x1, derivative is sine 2 plus x1, then cos 2 plus x1. Simplify with calculator, you got 0.301. Then finally x4 multiplication with 2. So 2 times x2 x3. So here 2 times x2 x3. And condition number with respect to x3 is x3 derivative 2x2, then function 2x2 x3, so which is 1. So now we have every step and now every step has condition number less than 1. So now every step is well conditioned. So this process is stable. So if you have trigonometric function involved, then you can use trigonometric formulas. And if you have two different functions, like you have ex minus cos x, then, and of course x is small, okay, then e power 0 will be 1, cos 0 is also 1. So then use Taylor series of ex and cos x, so that you can get rid from this negative sign. So this negative will cause loss of significant digits. So to write a stable algorithm, we avoid cancellation of digits which can cause serious loss of significant digits. So in that way, by reformulating, you can make any process stable.